Born. Why was there speed garage? Why was there dubstep? Why was there grime? It's because of jungle. Yeah. Everything people wanted to do vocal wise with jungle weren't happening.
It
wasn't happening. And the first wave of speed garage lot who took the vocalists and then the Soul Solids, one of the biggest groups we've had out of rave music and all those things. That came from producers that left the jungle scene that just wanted vocals on it. Anywhere there's rave music, now you tend to have an MC on it, whether it was techno, grime or house or, you know, whatever, trance or anything like that. Back in the days you'd never have a host on those musics, and the same with hardcore and jungle, where a host would be one MC who started the show off at 10 o'clock and you wouldn't hear him on the mic again till probably about 3 o'clock. Then you wouldn't hear him again till probably about 5 or 6 when it was time to go home. What jungle brought to the table, apart from it was a radio stemmed thing.
Yeah.
So what happened is the music was being played on the radio. Obviously we're not getting booked to go to the clubs to play this music or to MC on this music, so the parties became on the radio. So we wouldn't be out Friday night or Saturday night. We'd be on the radio, in the studio, vibes in a party to ourselves with a couple of drinks over, you know, the music that we was now really into. Do you understand? And obviously there's other people out there that was listening and was into it just as much as we were. So it started from one area to another area, and you know, we was quite surprised that, you know, the buzz for us in the early years was more going to a new place that also listened to what we was doing. That was far more exciting, you know what I'm saying? So the MC thing, you know, it kind of made it stamp on the rave scene like that, where, oh, it's come with this new music, and this music comes with an MC. Do you understand? A lot of DJs were coming from the old school, so they weren't really too sure about the MC thing.
Yeah.
So they didn't really want it. So you kind of, as an MC, try to please the DJ, but then still put across what you was trying to put across. And then you had certain promoters who did events who, even though the MC thing was starting to develop, they still didn't really want you in their event. So, you know, many a times I worked with Brocky and I'd be standing on the side watching him DJ, not being able to MC because they didn't even facilitate having a microphone. And when we got into the West End back in the late 90s, none of the West End clubs had a mic for the MC because we had brought this new thing. Now you go to every club around the world and they've got a microphone for the MC. That wasn't something that was there before.
You had to ask them for the mic, innit?
You had to ask if they had one.
Yeah, man. I'm just listening as well, because like obviously we've grown as well, but there was a lot of competition back in the day as well, like with the radio stations, and that made it exciting as well. Even though we was all mates, we used to all meet up at the Bakers, innit?
Yeah.
But there was like Paradise FM, which is a ragga station. You had Station FM.
Station FM. I remember that when I was a kid.
And then you had Cool FM and Rush FM, all in one flats. We used to all broadcast from the same flats, but it was a mad thing, do you know what I mean? Because obviously we're all mates and whatever, but on the air, it's almost like Tottenham versus Arsenal. Yeah. Do you understand? So it was like a real competition going on. That made it exciting. But I mean, there's still competition there now, and it just made it exciting back in the day.
Lordy Dotty, who wants to party? Lordy Dotty, who wants to party? Lordy Dotty, who wants to party? Sounds of the Brocky and the one Shabba me ball. Lordy Dotty, select up, Brocky. Oh my gosh. As we take this one in for the tip top.
When jungle was kind of spawning, you know, it was more side by side, there was more love. That's why there was always this peace, love and unity kind of talk, hence why you got a lot of tunes that talk about peace, love and unity from jungle, because
old to MC Fats, man.
Yeah, man.
Big up Fats,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Big up Peter Bouncer and Tenafly and Maximum, R.I.P. And you know, so it was a lot of peace, love and unity. Why? Because there was a lot of vocal tunes then. You know, Original Night came out of that era. The General Lever tune that's got real life, incredible, that's from that era as well. You know, there was a lady called Elizabeth Troy, had a massive tune, she was on TV and everything with it, with Greater Love. So there was a lot of things at that time, you know, and I'll just mention 3, but there's a few others.
Big up Shy Effects as well.
Demolition, man.
Big up Demolition, man. Shy Effects, because he was a dumb producer, he still is.
Yeah.
But he was like one of the guys that brought this thing to the table. And you know what, I have to big up General Levy as well, because Depp mentioned his name. There was so much controversy back in the day with that guy, but you know what, bruv? Geezer's a legend and he's smashing it right now. And you know what I mean, we all followed sheep and done things through the radio or whatever back then because of politics. But you know what? he had the biggest tune then, and he's got the biggest tune now. In my opinion, on the vocals.
I'm just saying it's like this. I mean,
you know,
I don't know about that really, Shabba, because Levy at the time said something
it was
at the time
controversial,
that got everyone's back up.
He did.
And on speaker to
which was
Levy himself, he said that he was the king of the jungle. And at the time that he said it, I mean, you could say that now, and it probably wouldn't really bother anyone.
Yeah.
But the reason why it bothered people at that time, if anybody said anything about, oh, we're the best at this, or we are the greatest, or everything, it's because it was a smaller community of DJs and MCs, and you know, we considered it kind of a family kind of love thing. There's no one higher than anybody else, you know. It's like, it was very much a movement.
A family as
well.
well.
It was like a family movement. So nobody wanted to put their hand up and say, nobody would even take a deal.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Until Goldie took the first deal. And up until that point, nobody would take a deal. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, we was very enclosed. It was a very enclosed community. And so when General Levy came out and was, you know, he's an artist, so he was more like, you know, I'm an artist and this is what I do, and yeah, this tune's big and I'm the king, and you know, he probably never said it like he's the king of the jungle, but he's just been like what artists do.
No,
but our scene wasn't really, we weren't really about that.
But at the same time, sorry to cut you there, you have got videos. Like you can now go to something, and you will see a video of this guy right now.
MC that get one with it, gonna get one that's tolerance. 9495996, we jump down with us in the mix. Some food MCs too mischievous. What's it all about? Where they leading us? Industry couldn't deal with us, and it came that we were idiots.
Yeah. And so is Shabba. They both got videos. They're both in big videos.
Shabba D. Shabba the Shabba D. Shabba D. When I'm on the mic, I don't take no liberty. Rapping the mic inside of a city. Think some boy them back in history. With them all know you wanna tackle me. Got my lyrics them by the factory. Now it's time to run the melody. Making way for the music industry.
So really, that what you said earlier about the not having no tracks, it shows there's proof.
Yeah, there's proof.
Do you know what I mean? There is proof right there.
There just weren't enough of it, Storm.
Of
there
course,
weren't enough of it, and there weren't a market.
The push. This is the thing as well. The machine. There weren't the machine.
But you know what? What he's hit the nail on the head. Yeah, not even on a long thing. I'll say it again. Yeah, big up all the producers out there and everything. But you know, and I know. Yeah, there's no pulling no wool over no one's eyes. Yeah. They didn't want to feed us the rhythms. They had the rhythms in it, and they didn't want to give us the production. Not saying they didn't, because they was doing their own thing and they had their own thing set in stone. But if we had the rhythms back then, it would have been a different ball game, innit?
Why was there speed garage? Why was there dubstep? Why was there grime? It's because of jungle. Yeah. Everything people wanted to do vocal wise with jungle weren't happening. It wasn't happening. And the first wave of speed garage lot, who took the vocalists and then the Soul Solids, one of the biggest groups we've had out of rave music and all those things, that came from producers that left the jungle scene that just wanted vocals on it. Yeah. So this era was there, but nobody wanted to take hold of it, so it spawned speed garage. Yeah. The speed garage thing was doing what it's doing, and then you had kids out there who wanted a little bit more harder than what was going on at the time. Yeah. So then that spawned grime. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then dubs, some kids, they like the MCing thing, they like the beat more than they liked hearing the MC on it. So it spawned a heavy bassline tune music called dubstep. Yeah. You understand? And then, you know, it's commercial in a student way, because most music that we do here does hit the students because they were young people. And then so the media just grabbed hold of that, and DJs from around the world, and used that sound because it's quite slow.
It stemmed from one thing.
But my whole point is it all stemmed from jungle. Yeah. Now that's only because jungle never pushed into the. We never. You know, I was talking about our scene where we're here, and they're over there. Them over there are the commercial field that you'll see, you know, national radio, pump music out every day, who you don't see us on, TV and all that, we're not involved in none of that. All the other mediums, commercial mediums, we're not part of that. And that's what this was all about from the beginning of jungle. We was like, forget about them over there, because they don't look at ground root talent. And we're going to deal with that. And we're going to create a scene that's going to move those people. So when that guy comes up from school, he might not be very educated, but likes music, tried his heart to get in over there, and it doesn't work, we'll have you over here with your talent. Not just because you want to do it, but because you're talented. And so we have this here for us, and they can be over there. So what happened over the years, that's why you get the Sigmas and the Freshers and all that. You get other guys that come over and they're making music and they're trying to get in over there. But over there won't take them. So then they come here where we are, where we've got a firm foundation, and they you know, they kind of work off our sound and help build that sound, but their mind is always, I want to be over there. And we still got people like that in our scene today, producers, who really, they want to be over there. But to get over there, you need something to launch you over there. So then they use us as a foundation, which isn't bad, but can they usually build up and add a little bit of what they've come with, their talent, and leave it here with us, and they use us as a foundation to launch to get over there. But there's been a lot of us over here, we don't just want to launch to go over there and leave everybody else behind. We just, you know, like myself, we just want to, you know, if we're going to go over there, we're all going over there. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to just be, Deck done it, Deck, Wicked Deck's got the hit tune with Storming and shit. And we're the only people over there, and the people over here in the scene that helped develop us and support us for so many years aren't over there with us as well, appreciating the new venues that we're now bringing them into, and the new advertisement and the TV broadcasts and stuff that they can still feel a part of, you know. And as long as over there wants to do their things like that over there, good luck to them, it works. But we're all right over here. We make our music. Obviously, we won't mind some of the money from over there.
Taking off from that, sorry to cut, man, but that is now what's happened, innit? Like, there is a scene now been created where the likes of Storm, enough people have come through, and made big impact, and it's quick. Do you know what I mean? Because their work rate, Storms come from the grime, and there's man from hip hop, big up Shotter, big up, you know, even Evil B. Do you know what I mean? Smashed it, going on the garage, coming to the drum and bass. It's just so much things going on right now with the new generation of MCs.
I was about to ask you.
But it's like, it's kind of like now we've created a scene now, and it's a business. Don't get me wrong, there's promoters out there now. You have to have your business head on as well now. Like you said, the internet's there, the agents, the management, all that's there now. The foundation is set, but it's a new era now, and it's like, it's ready for that now, and that's what's happened now. That's why I said it's one of the most exciting waves that I've seen, because of the access to everything right now. What we never had back in the day, and other artists never had, the production of tunes, you know, the producers that want to work with the MCs now, because they've done this strategy for so long. And you know what, I'm not saying it ain't work, but it's just, it's like walking around the lawn when you can, walking around the park where you can cut through the park. Do you understand? You'd rather cut through the gates. So that's what's going on now.
Well, I believe it's what's happening. Why the reason why it's come full circle in that full sense. Stop me if you want it. But I believe it's more in the sense of, like, you know, we still got the producers that's kept the mainframe of this music, and now we've got the new school producers coming through and the new school MCs, and they grew up on listening to this MC spitting over these beats in the raves, and they enjoyed it and everything, and they go and buy the beat and turn it into a DJ, or he likes what the MC was spitting over there and turns into an MC, but he liked that. Now those people that grew up listening to that, some of them are producers, and big producers of today. And so for you to, as a vocalist now, for that producer now to put a vocalist on a tune now, to him it's like second nature. So you're getting a lot more newer producers that are doing that. 'Cause to be honest, I don't see many old producers doing that. I see the new guys doing it. I don't see the old guys doing it, because they grew up without the MC. But these new lot are used to the MC and value the MC. You know, may not even be any of us in this room that they value as an MC. It might be their mate who lives down the road, who, as far as they're concerned, is the greatest MC in the world and deserves a break. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you know, they're coming through, and they're going to build tunes with their mate from down the road to put full vocals on, because yes, there is a forum for it. Even if that forum means that you only hear it on the internet, then be it so. Do you understand what I'm saying? We still perform every weekend on stage, so you get the vibe and the energy of what we're trying to give you. Do you understand? And so the others coming up, they're going to add to that, and soon there will be no other way to do it but to have that either stem, a new stem of it, which I believe is a movement for the future for up-and-coming producers, up-and-coming DJs, and those up-and-coming MCs that have worked so hard. We've been force-fed hip-hop and other rhyming styles of dance music for so long. It's just normal for us to do our own. Do you understand what I'm saying? And to be honest, you know, it's the biggest and most known underground music is jungle drum and bass.
Yeah, of course.
Do you understand? And the stem that it's
and the scene what we've got.
The scene itself is healthy.
We've got a massive scene, like
all over the world.
Going back to the grime thing and hip hop and commercial and whatever, they get deals, and from back in the day, as you know, everyone was getting deals and whatever. Now it's an industry where it's built up on, you set things up yourself, you get your own label, you like all these big up Lethal Bill, all these man that set, independent. Do you understand? That's the word I'm looking for. So therefore, that's what's happened right now with the drum and bass. It's like we've built up a scene now, and things are healthy right now. Like that just said, the producers want to work with the MCs, and it's a good time. You know what I mean? For the youngers coming through, the doors are opening, innit? Quick and fast. So therefore, you don't have to be a top MC or a top guy performing on the stages, but you make that one tune as a producer or an MC, and you know what? You're in the scene, innit?
Yeah.
That tune that with like producers, they don't have to play it every week in clubs, but hey, they make one big tune, and that's the way through for them. And
Yeah, I think, you know, sorry to cut you, Shabs.
No, it's cool.
You know, there's I think the door that is opening now by the MCs that are in the scene right now, because they're that way orientated for what they want to do with the music. The likes of Storming and the Swifters and the Shabbas and the Skibbers and the Shotters and the Funsters and all these people, they're opening the door for, look man, you don't have to fight and moan and complain or put down people to want to go and be on that stage where you see those guys on stage, us lot on stage in the raves. Now you can just make a hit tune, make a hit jungle tune. You got good lyrics, make a song.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that should be your way in.
But it's more for I'm not even cutting, I'm just carrying on. It's more for the producers in the last 5 years, that was the routine. But now I can see that routine repeating itself for the MCs as well. So that's a good thing for the younger MCs, because it ain't like that yet. Don't get it twisted. The MC drum and bass on music is only just, people are putting out tunes, but Stormy said earlier, everyone's got to do it. Everyone's got to do it. It can't just be one, like that said, one source. Yeah, now everyone's doing this source. In the next couple years, that will be the case, because now it's like I'm back there as a producer.
Yeah, man.
Like there was producers out there that made one hit tune, and now they're DJing everywhere. So it's still going on, that strategy. Do you understand what I'm saying? But hey, in the next in the next 2 years or a year, maybe even 6 months, who knows? Yeah, that routine will change with the MCs, and MCs can back me up on that. Do you know what I mean? Because you need, as an MC, it's a little bit of different route you're coming through to get on there. You need to either know people, you need to be good as so good, like other MCs are rating you, or you need to know, like I said, you need to know promoters or have a way into the scene. There ain't just no walking up on the stage. Like Storm would tell you, he was rolling with man for how long before you even bust?
This game's not easy. That's one thing I can say. See, drum and bass, that it's not walking through the park, mate. Can't just come in and say, yeah, I'm a drum and bass MC. Many grime MCs have tried to come in and been kicked straight back out.